Here we go. Starting over. Go ahead.
Alright, my name is Ashish. I'm here to negate the resolution that the USFG should pay college athletes. So I'm going to be talking about their harms, disadvantages of their plan, and then advantages of going against their plan. So her definition for athletes was bad. Professional athletes are athletes that are paid for their services, according to legaldictionary.com. And to further their definition of scholarships, a full ride scholarship is a scholarship that covers all needs for students such as tuitions, room fee, board, books, and living expense. Contention 1, why it's not unfair to pay college athletes. Student athletes have an easier time getting into colleges than normal students. According to Allen 2012, Forbes Reclaim the Game, College Sports and Educational Values, former Princeton president William Bowen and his authors described how 33 of America's most academically selective colleges. Recruited athletes are nearly 4 times more likely to be admitted than applicants of similar academic caliber. Subpoint 2, student athletes receive scholarships and other forms of aid. According to scholarshipstats.com, while athlete scholarships total $3 billion, academic based and other financial assistance total over $11 billion in 2015. That's over $14 billion available to them. For those students that don't receive scholarships, besides the sports financial aid that's already available to them, they also have FAFSA. According to NCSA, if you do not get a athletic scholarship, you are eligible for other financial aid. That's why completing the FAFSA form is essential. Federal student aid distributes more than $150 billion in federal financial aid each year, and that is available to you even if you're an athlete. Subpoint 3, colleges spend more money on college athletes than normal students. Student athletes even have more money spent on them than average students, according to Delta Cost Project 2010. The median average spending on football college athletes was $92,000, whereas the same university spending on a full-time equivalent student was less than $14,000. That's 6 times more. Some colleges spend even more. The Southeastern Conference spends $163,000 per student. Big 12 spends $131,000 per student. Big Pacific 10 spends $102,000, and the list continues. Contention 2, college athletes are left with debt, and why that doesn't matter. Okay, so the affirmative states that college athletes are not getting paid is unfair, and the extensive schedules leave them unable to work. However, statistics from the studentdebtcrisis.org 2014 states, student loans show that more than 43.3 million students are in debt. And the number of student athletes in the US is 460,000. That's less than 1%. So 99% of those students that can work are still in debt. College athletes are employed, are more likely to pursue graduate school and get jobs. They are better off building a better future than their non-athlete counterparts, according to new 2014 Inside Higher Education. Nearly 2/3 of former athletes, 65% reported being fully employed compared to 63% of non-athletes. 42% of former athletes report being engaged at the workplace compared to 38% of non-athletes. Female athletes have a higher percentage of 41% compared to 33% non-athletes. As far as postgraduate school and degrees, 33% of student athletes pursue graduate school versus 31% non-athletes. And 68% of former athletes are more likely to graduate a 4-year school compared to the 66% non-athlete. Contention 3, why paying college athletes won't work. By definition, a college athlete's role will change from amateur to professional if they are paid. According to student law, US legal, the NCAA sports contract states, state universities required all athletes to be amateur in their sport. And if you are a professional, if you are paid in any form of promise of pay, sign a contract, or verbally commit to another sports organization or agent, use athletic skills for pay in any form, TV commercials and demonstration, play on a professional athletic team, or participate in an amateur sports team, and receive any salary, incentive payment, awards, or gratuity. And Therefore, the affirmative plan would fail by law alone. And besides that, they are saying for the United States federal government to pay for student athletes. So where would that money come from? Are we taking it out of other departments where the money is needed more? If you did the math of full-time, they say college athletes spend on the field, which was about 40 hours, and 460,000 student athletes, that would be equivalent to about $6 billion of pay that they're expecting the United States federal government to pay. So where would that money come from? And advantages, if we don't do the plan that they state, athletes would be able to keep their scholarships, be able to take their financial aid, finish school, and go on to do better things. I'm Ashish, and here negating the resolution that the USFG should not pay college athletes.